Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time today. We are having the first UK alumni meet to talk about angel investments. We have here Team Wazir and IAMCAN is organizing the event. I first want to introduce Arun Kumar, co-founder at IAMCAN, IMC 1991 batch, an investment banker with strong experience in startup funding, venture capital. We also have Mr. Alok Mehta, IMC batch 1997. He is passionate about driving transformation of businesses to especially help them scale. Uh, we have from Wazir Mr. Gajanan and Bhavna. Wazir is a smart platform for legal, accounting, and compliance services. They do end-to-end legal and accounting work for startups and even businesses looking to enter in India. Uh, Gajanan is a qualified company secretary whose area of expertise are company law, investment, and finding compliances. We have Bhavna, who is a qualified chartered accountant with 17 plus years of experience. Her areas of expertise are accounting, business structuring, and various business audits. I request Mr. Arun Kumar to take over and introduce and talk about IMCAN.
Yeah, hi guys. I know some of you are members of IAMCAN, but others are not. So, what is IAMCAN? Let's just walk through that. It's a network set up by Aso, me, and Sandeep to help IAMCAN alumni to wade through the angel investment space. We have right now 4 deals live, and all these deals are right now based in India. We also have members abroad, and one of the reasons for this call is that people in UK, US want to understand what are the nuances of investing in India. And we thought it would be great if we can get someone like Alok, who has invested, who has an understanding from an investment side, and and people like Wazir, who can advise us on the compliances and the legal side. So uh, just to say, IMCAN is right now 290 members, 4 deals under our belt, and we hope to do many more deals in that space, in the angel investment space.
So a UK citizen trying to invest in India,
Yeah, Indian startup.
Indian startup. So like initially they will invest their funds, right? And whatever returns they will get in the form of dividends and all and capital gains.
Okay.
So appropriately they will tax depending on the DTA, their status, their PE status and all.
What are the best routes to take to invest? Like what accounts to open to invest before investing in the startup? Any ideas on that?
Sorry, I didn't get you on this.
So what bank accounts do they need to use? Can they transfer directly from the UK bank to the startup bank or this kind of details
No,
also?
they can start up from directly from the UK bank to here. Like here in India, the company will do the all RBI compliances. So there are like certain shareholder agreements and all agreements they should go through, and then they can transfer from their account to the Indian account.
How much time generally this just for the investor to be prepared?
Sorry.
For the investor to be having some expectation, right? Like how much time does it take? And
So officially, sir, it is 15 to 20 days, but
okay,
practically we have seen a lot many times there are challenges with the KYCs.
okay,
So banks offshore doesn't clear the KYCs. And
okay.
without the banks offshore clearing the KYCs, Indian banks are not clearing the share application money. So practically, we have seen sometimes it takes even 2 to 3 months for the company also to receive the share capital.
Okay.
So this is a technical bit of a challenge on the like how quickly your authorized bank clears your KYCs and how quickly Indian bank finishes their documentation.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I have a related question. Suppose somebody is in UK but he is an Indian citizen. Then what would you suggest is the best route for him to remit money into an Indian company? Is it NRO? Is it NRE? Is it his account in UK? What is the best and easiest way for him to invest?
So his residential status is
He's an NRI effectively,
okay.
but he has NRO accounts in India. He has an NRE account in India. He also obviously has an account in UK for his day-to-day work. So which account would you suggest should he remit money into an Indian company?
Yeah.
So here two things will come into picture. One is repatriation basis and non-repatriation basis.
Yes.
So if they are transferring the investment amount through foreign account, foreign currency account, so for that we mandatorily we have to do the RBI compliances. But if they are transferring amount from Indian currency account, then no need of reporting to RBI. So as a profession, I always suggest to transfer it from INR account only, because for me it's no need of reporting to RBI and no need of following with our banker.
Okay. So I got it. What you're saying is if I want to keep the money in India, then I use my another account because whatever capital gains will be, they'll stay in India only because it's a non-repatriable investment.
Yes.
But if I want to take the money out of India, then it might make sense to invest from a.
Yes. From the initial period only, you have to file all the documents with before ROC, this RBI.
Yeah.
Without that, you cannot take that money to your country.
But if I, for my understanding, if I remit money from my NRE account, do I need to take approvals of RBI or that is automatically done?
RBI says whenever two currencies are involved, reporting to RBI is mandatory. If
Okay.
only one currencies are involved, if you are managed in INR amount only, then no need of reporting to RBI, because the system it won't approve. It will give permission to file those documents before RBI.
Okay, got it. So as far as remittance is concerned, whether it's NRE account or whether it's a account in UK, same compliances have to be done.
Correct.
Yeah, that's something very useful.
RBI always says if you have two currency transaction,
Got it.
then coming to this reporting will come into picture. If you are already done a INR transaction only, no need to report to RBI.
So just curious here, Gajanan, not that I have that particular issue, but let's say if someone wants to transfer to his own account, that NRE account also, right? Which would be in INR, right?
Correct.
So even then, some reporting has to be done, or
so there are two departments will come into picture here. One is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and second one is the Reserve Bank of India. So first thing is mandatory. If it is from NRE account, INR account, whatever it may be, mandatorily we have to report to this Register of Companies, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, by filing all the return of allotment, the PS5, all those documents need to be reported to Ministry of Corporate Affairs.
Yeah, I understood that whenever we issue investment prospectus, there is form TR14 or something.
Correct.
Yeah, got it.
Thanks everyone for sharing your valuable insights. It's been really helpful and comprehensively. We have covered a lot of topics. We have recorded the webinar. We'll also share it with people who were unable to attend. Let's do more of these kind of webinars where people can learn more and very easily they can participate in startup investments. Thank you.